Hey guys, welcome back to the Sabbath in Let's Play Darklands with me, PolarDash. Um, One major thing I want to point out before we start, this will be my very first post-commentary video. Um, and I was forced to make a post-commentary when I thought it was a good idea to, I don't know, delete my audio file that contained my voice. It wasn't intentional, but if I paid a bit more attention, I probably could have prevented myself from making that very horrible mistake. So I'm kind of disgruntled right now. It happened yesterday. I figured I'd give it a day to let my anger kind of smooth out. um, I guess it helped. Yeah, I was in a pretty bad rage fit yesterday after I did it. Um, but yeah, I figured if I don't get this sorted out now, I might put this LP off forever, and I don't want it to happen. I need to get on with uploading my the rest of my Darklands footage, and yeah, this I shouldn't let an accident stop me from doing that. Anyway, so yeah, what happened last time? I don't remember. I played this episode like 2-3 months ago, and yeah, I oh right last time on Let's Play Darklands we stopped cannibalism, or Axiana did with her cookieism, uh, and I think Inferno put his foot down on the whole mocking baptism deal. Baptism, yeah, that's what it's called. And then Axiom and Inferno joined together to convince these pagans riding body parts into the sky that riding ponies is a lot more fun and enjoyable and safe. Um, so am I gonna get on with picking what to do? All right, but so yeah, what we need to do next is to head east to this large altar and do something about it. So if I could just kind of go ahead and do that. There we go. Yeah, this post commentary is weird. Especially when I'm doing it for footage 3 months old. Alright, so select the altar, PolarDash. You can do it. We're going to the altar. Go! Yes, forward! Alright, we see several men and women carrying various items, such as small candles and sprigs of plants you don't recognize. One even holds a live cockerel. And I later found out that cockerels are chickens. Yeah, I didn't know that at the point I recorded. And I think I pointed that out during the recording. Anyway, in the middle of the gathering is a large stone slab with what appears to be dried blood on top of it. The witches are preparing an altar for summoning a foul demon of hell. One calls out, "We'll need help if we're to finish for the ceremony tomorrow." Another spies you watching and trots over. "Come me to prepare the summoning place?" he asks. We reply, So we got two choices. We could just leave, or we can say we'll help. And Toby steps up and tells the pagan that we'll be helping them construct this evil altar. Alright, the man gives you a packet of dried herbs, a phial of some dark liquid, and a piece of charcoal. Yeah, and I remember I didn't know like if phial is like the equivalent of vial, but like in Old English, and I forgot to look that up. Anyway, you can draw the pentagrams, he says. Place one at each corner and befoul it with tar and charcoal. Understand? Toby replies that we do, and move behind the altar where fewer people can see you. Then you, so we have a choice between draw the pentagrams, or we can perform the sabotage. Now, we don't want to draw the pentagrams because that's doing evil work. Yeah, and I think I remember I was hoping for more choices here. Like, I was hoping like maybe there's an alchemical solution, or if we can invoke a saint to purge the unholiness from this altar. But I wasn't given the choices, so yeah, we have nothing better better to do than to attempt to sabotage. And you saw that the chances are very poor because I think the game is taking the average of everybody's artifice and religion skill, and I think Ping and Axiana is bringing the team down, which is giving us a very poor chance there. So yeah, but we have no other choice. Toby and Inferno's gonna have to instruct Ping and Axiana as best as they can on how to perform the sabotage. So yep, Toby and Inferno helping Ping and Axiana. There we go. So Axiana's got her chalk. She's about to doodle on the altar some flowers and bumblebees. Ping's gonna, I don't know, scribble out the periodic alchemical table of science. People are moving about constantly, but during each lull, you take your plan one step further. You plant bits of scripture under the stone, and put pure white sand instead of charcoal into the centers of the pentagrams. You're about to place a holy symbol beneath the altar when the foreman appears from nowhere to inspect your work. "What's this?" he roars, spotting the half-finished holy symbol. "Traitors, help!" Axian looks up and goes, "It's a bumblebee." It's not a holy symbol. You barely have time to draw and raise weapons before the witches are upon you. Okay, so I guess that'll mean we'll be entering combat. Probably, talking about stuff, because I'm not doing it. I must be saying something witty or crafty, but I don't remember. I'm sorry. Yeah, the commentary's gonna suffer. Alright, so we're looking at a dude in front of us. That's probably the foreman. I think I'm scrolling around to make sure that there's nobody else in the battlefield. And, just the guy sent on the map there. The 1 and the 3. Right? Oh yeah, these are, I think, our first cultist guys. There's a different sprite. Enemy sprite, so that's interesting. And we got followers, our, bandit likes. Cultists are armed with military flails, and military flails can be very dangerous because I think they penetrate chainmail. But yeah, so we got cultists in sort of, I don't know, inverse Ku Klux Klan hats, and followers wielding broke-ass falchions, which won't really cause us too many problems. Okay, so it looks like the party here is opening up with projectile fire, aiming at the foreman to silence him from, calling for help. There he goes. Boom! 17 damage in his face, and the foreman is gurgling out blood because he's got a bolt stuck in his throat now. Alright, but the 3 helpers in the immediate vicinity go in to attack us, hearing the foreman cry for aid. So yeah, the party is repositioning themselves as Toby goes to finish off the foreman with his mace. Alright, readying more arrows. Boom! Alright, Axion and Inferno land hits, dealing 13 or 11 damage each. And they're probably drawing their weapons now. Alright. Yeah, Inferno unsheathes his longsword. Axiana brings her halberd to bear. Toby, and then Ping his yet short sword. Okay, drawing that out of his cloak. Mushing the follower behind everyone. There he goes. Alright, Inferno making short work of his follower, along with Axiana. Goes to help Toby, who seems to be having trouble with the... There we go, foreman, but he falls easily to Inferno's blade. And Axiana going in from the sides with her halberd, cutting down the cultist that Ping is engaging. There he goes. Alright, so we got our usual loots of our own projectiles that party will be picking up. Okay, and Toby reveals his loot bag and tells the party to stuff it, and there he goes. Edge weapon's gone to in the 90s for Inferno. That's awesome, and Ping's still kind of in the 70s there, but that's to be expected. The fight is hard, but you are triumphant. However, all the commotion has drawn other interested parties in our direction, and you'd prefer not to take on the whole Sabbath, and we move away fast. You leave the area and return to your wanderings about the field. Hopefully, no one saw you doing anything while you were here. I think we might have had an easier time sabotaging the altar if everyone took a couple lessons in religion, but we didn't. After a busy day, darkness falls over the field. The watchfires burn into the night, and new travelers are arriving constantly for the grand ceremony, which is to begin tomorrow. Though activity continues all through the night, you settle down in a quiet corner of the field. You know that you must not allow the satanic ceremony or the equally hideous feast which follows to be completed. Yeah, that'd be bad. Well, I don't know what the game's talking about, this equally hideous feast. I thought Axiana took care of that, I'm sure the cooks are preparing an awesome feast of delicious butter cookies, following Axiana's recipe to the T. But then, if you think about it, I guess a basket of cookies isn't really a feast. But Axiana will argue otherwise. Anyway, as you sleep, you dream. In your dreams, a saintly figure approaches you and whispers, "You must discover the location of the fortress monastery. This is the next step of your quest." Is the saintly figure naked? Hey, look, it's like a bunch of Doom health power-ups in the chest there. Neat. You can get over your maximum health with them. Anyway, you awaken the next morning refreshed and ready for the day. To your surprise, each of you has had the same dream during the night. You must be careful today and keep your ears open. Yeah. You stand in the middle of the field near the... Yeah, alright, so we're back in the middle of the field. Toby's asking Inferno if his angel in his dream was naked, because his was. He's giving him a creepy smile. Anyway. So, I think we have, I don't know, another shot at the altar, or we can, go back to the locations that we've already, I don't know, converted for extra virtue points, because apparently, there's still some out there that are mocking baptism and, eating human legs and riding, I don't know, broomsticks. But I think I chose to go back to the altar because, we should get our priorities straight. We want to make sure to take down this altar because it's the biggest thing in the Sabbath is they're trying to wreck this altar and bring back a demon from hell. We want to stop that. Alright, but we go there and find the altar complete. Rough stone and black fires burning at the four corners. It resembles a place of death more than a place of worship. The ceremony does not begin for another hour. You and a few other early arrivals are the only ones nearby, aside from a stonemason putting finishing touches on the altar block, and a satanic priest who seems to be examining the pentagrams with a careful eye. So yeah, it was a good idea that we came here, because apparently we only have another hour before the ceremony begins. The priest and the stonemason move away briefly. If you're going to do anything, now's your chance. So we... Alright, so hey, we have no better choice than to attempt to sabotage again. But I think this time around we have better odds, because... Come on, PolarDash, there you go. Yeah, we have more choices this time. We can attempt to sabotage the hard way, or we can call upon a saint, and Inferno has Saint Boniface to pray to. Alright, so he has 40 points remaining. We automatically get 17. I'm going to dump all of it into the success rate, giving us, 50-50 chance, pretty much. And Inferno crosses fingers, looks to the sky, and prays to Saint Boniface. Inferno rattles off a quick prayer, drawing several suspicious glances. Nothing seemed to happen in the heavens. Now several people are muttering amongst themselves, pointing at you and scowling. One member of the crowd approaches the satanic priest in a deferential manner and speaks softly to him. Nothing else happens, but you feel very uneasy. So, yeah, Saint Boniface left us hanging. Not cool, Saint Boniface. But yeah, well, God can't be everywhere, and nor can his saints. So this time, looks like we have to do it the hard way. A bell rings. Summoning, mutters a witch. Summoning, mutters a witch. And you see the throng move toward the altar. We wait and wonder what will occur. So yeah, there's that guy there. Yeah, it looks like he's holding rope. Yep. There's probably a bell there where I'm pointing. Yes. Man, yeah, I'm kind of noticing I moved the mouse cursor around randomly. The priest speaks. Now is the time of the summoning. I am Reinhard of the great monastery, and I convene the Sabbat. The crowd roars approval. One fat woman grins and says, "The great monastery? Isn't that northwest of Flensburg?" Our reply is drowned out by the chanting. Yeah, it was a good idea that, or not a good idea, but it was a good thing that the game, dropped the location of the Great Monastery on our laps instead of having to go around and find it, because I apparently forgot about it. And yeah, I got away lucky because there's the location right there. Yep, I'm probably mentioning something along the lines there. The ritual begins. The crowd and the priest chant harsh words as a darkness with horns and glowing red eyes rises from the altar. We know that if the demon is summoned, the odds of our defeating the witches decreases, but if the Sabbath is to be shattered, we must face and defeat the demon. So we're given choices here, but the one we have to make is more obvious, because apparently, if we want to release the bond that the demon has over the cultists here, we have to defeat him in open combat. So the best choice here to make will be to wait for the demon to be summoned and then attack him. And I'm doing circles around the screen. I was probably more like excited and I don't know, more enthusiastic in my commentary while I was doing this, because it is this pivotal moment in the whole Sabbath event here. We're getting into the meat of it. We wait until the witches have performed most of the ceremony. The evil power is almost overwhelming, but you hold out. Finally, the demon rises, grinning a dark grin, and Toby steps forward and says quietly, "I challenge thee in the name of the Lord." It is as though he had called in the loudest voice on earth. The demon screams, and the throng falls silent. So yeah, that was a pretty badass moment, Toby. And I'm sure the party is all backing him, flanking him with weapons drawn and stuff, striking, I don't know, combat poses or something. But yeah, a hush across the field, and the party in the center, facing the demon, challenging him to a duel. We face the demonic forms, weapons at the ready. "My minions," it says in a voice dark as night. "I shall slay the intruders, and we shall feast upon them. Hold back, this battle is mine." Moving like a shadow, it comes down from its high place above the altar. That's showdown time. Yeah, so it's this climactic battle between good and evil, and it's a shame that you guys can't hear my first impressions, the live commentary, because I was a dirtbag and deleted it by accident. Man. Alright, so here's the demon. He's striking like a crane style pose, all Daniel-san. Apparently Mr. Miyagi was sent to hell for some reason and trained all the demons in ancient karate. He has natural armor good, natural weapon fair. I think it's like all the demons, so well, I won't spoil things, but this battle might not be as, I don't know, epic as it could be. But yeah, our party is calling out a challenge on our own, striking our own kung fu poses. Except we're gonna launch some projectile before we get into the melee combat. But the demon deflects all of them with his wings covered in scaly carapace. And he's rushing in. Talons out in front. About to strike one of them. Inferno steps forward. Longsword drawn. Raises it up to strike the demon. Oh, the demon goes for Toby. But he blocks with his mace. Ping and Axiana goes in to flank the demon. Ping his signature jumping on the back of demon maneuver. Axiana is just going to chop away with her halberd. Okay. So yeah, demon, you know, he rised from a dark portal. He brought the realm of hell with him. I think I mentioned all that in the next video, but yeah, I know. I imagined like all the cultists, or the cultists with that is not as fanatical in the whole satanic cause, to be like, I don't know, ripping out their own eyes and things, and like gutting themselves because they just can't handle the madness that the demon brought with him. Okay, just making sure that there's nothing else around, because this battle's going is too easy. And here we go, a party dealing 14 damage to the demon, and I think it's gonna turn to dust any minute now. There he goes. Alright, so we pick out the quarrel and javelin off his body that's burning away into dust. Or I can stare at the quarrel. Alright, we can reach for it, pinch it between our finger and thumb, because all the ooze dripping off of it is pretty gross. And Ping is looking for his javelin. So the demon probably like kicked it away somewhere when he deflected it when he was charging. Okay, Ping, pick up the javelin. Pick up the damn javelin. What's taking me so long? I'm probably like describing stuff, but yeah, I don't remember. Victory! Our power is overly too much for the satanic being. With a scream of pure rage, it begins to fragment. Fear them not, my witches, it calls, for you are many. I have weakened them. Avenge me! With that, the demon vanishes, leaving you to face the angry throng. Right, so, the angry throng will probably... I realized that the demon really didn't weaken us too much. In fact, we're perfectly healthy. Okay. Right. So this is where things get more real. We got the High Witch in the center there with his cane of power, and the inverse KKK guys with their hats and their flails. They're not armored very well, but they're still very dangerous. Just the fact that there's they outnumber us, and the High Witch has apparently very good potions. So I think this is what I'm trying to figure out, how to go about this. I think it's pretty important to... I'm surveying the battlefield. I spot 3 guys on the left. We got 2 on the right there, and the High Witch by the altar, backed by 2 of his trusted bodyguards. Most trusted bodyguards. I don't remember how I went about this. It's pretty important to neutralize the witch as fast as possible, because he'll be launching spells at us while we fight, and yeah, taking hits from spells during a combat situation where the enemy outnumbers us will not end well for your party. So here we go. Yep. Our heroes here are going to open up with a volley of projectile fire from their ranged weapons. Oh, and the High Witch takes 18 damage in the chest. That's not stopping him from casting his spells. He's got a gaping hole in the center of his chest, but it didn't seem like it fazed him. He's still going about doing his incantations, preparing to launch some kind of unholy spell at us. So, yeah, I think this will be the first time we'll be using potions, I think. Ping's got some burst potions, if I remember correctly, that he's going to be launching at the High Priest, the High Witch, to slow him down, to throw his casting down. Or, yeah, prevent him from casting effectively, or spells effectively. Man, I'm stumbling over words now. And the interesting thing about potions is that you can either target the guy, or you can target a oh, there we go. See, you can target a location. so you can like preemptively or aim a potion at a spot where you think the enemies will pass, which can be pretty useful. But Ping will be launching his Sunburst Potion into the High Priestess' face, because for right now, that is the spot where the Sunburst Potion will be most effective. Meanwhile, I think I'm figuring out what to do with the 3 guys on the left. Yeah, you know, things are starting to come back to me now. I think Toby's gonna go after them. Well, yeah, he's gonna cover Ping so that he can launch potions at the High Priest. Axiana's probably gonna get those 2 guys on the right, while Inferno goes in and takes on the High Priest himself. And I think I'm worried about the 2 guys that he has with him. That's as far as I remember. I think... yeah, there we go. But I think I said all I needed to say. Right, so the High Witch launches a Stone Tar Potion at Axiana. I guess he wants to see Axiana covered in goo, because he's all perverted like that. Okay, so Ping. The Sunburst Potion that he threw smashes into the High Priest's forehead. It shatters. And it's followed by a blinding flash of light. Yeah, Sunburst Potions don't affect your own guys, unlike other spells or other potions, because your characters are smart enough to avert their eyes before the actual explosion. But it affects all the enemies that's within line of sight of the explosion, which is nice. So as you can see, it stunned a whole bunch of guys. That wasn't exactly in the immediate vicinity of the blast. And it's helping Toby a whole lot over there as he's over there pummeling that guy that's been blinded with his mace. He dealt 10 damage. And Axiana, the Stone Tar Potion having absolutely no effect on her combat skills, cutting the cultist in front of her down. She just dealt 60 damage. And there's Inferno up there, mid-charge, slashing the cultist that went to stop him for 14 damage. And Ping's about to engage in melee combat too, so he's going to have to put that potion back in his sleeve. And he'll most likely be drawing his short sword. Alright, so while the cultist there is in shock because Inferno just cut off his arm, his other arm, Inferno's going to continue to charge again into the High Priest, or maybe not. It's going to finish him off, actually, now that he's limbless. Okay. And the cultist headbutts him for 2 damage to Inferno, but then Inferno goes and cuts off that head. Alright, now he's open to take on the High Priest himself. Axiana just dealt 20 damage, probably cutting that torso in half. The only thing keeping that cultist moving is some kind of unholy power that's driving him. Alright, but yeah, Inferno, or Axiana, beats the other half of the body down into Stone Tar, and it dissolves into goo. And it looks like Toby is getting surrounded, but the rest of the party is going in to support him. And Inferno cut down the High Priest, leaving his lifeless corpse by the altar there. And the cultists, seeing their leader dispatched, they're starting to lose morale and are being pushed back by our heroes. Inferno moving in from the side, cuts that one down. Ping stabbing away at the last cultist. Stab. And there he goes. And victory is ours. Recovering our projectiles, and Toby gathering the spoils of victory. Anytime now. Oh, you know what? I remember it might be important to note that Inferno decapitated the High Priest. It'll come into play in the next episode. Good thing I remembered. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. Alright, and still they attack, wielding their cudgels and pitchforks. The carnage is frightful, but the morale is beginning to waver. Alright, so, yeah, next time on Let's Play Darklands, live commentary. Hopefully, if I don't mess up again. Um, yeah, it's a real shame that I lost my I don't know, raw reaction to my first time taking on the Sabbath and the witch and his cultist followers. But what are you gonna do? I can't really dwell on it. And I figured if I do dwell on it, yeah, I will be putting this thing off forever. But